Hello. Well, today we got this in the mail, and it's President Trump's. Look at that glare there. I can't even say his name like that. Coronavirus guidelines for America. So they have a whole bunch of these. I don't know why they waste the money sending a card. Oh, it's just that light coming through the window. So I'll be over here. Anyway, so on this side it says listen and follow the directions of the states and local authorities. If you feel sick, stay at home, do not go to work. If your child or your children are sick, keep them at home. Contact your medical provider. If you are an older person or have a serious underlying health condition, stay at home and away from other people. If someone in your household has tested positive, keep the entire household at home who has been tested. Even if you are young or otherwise healthy, you are at risk and your activities can increase the risk for others. It is critical that you do not part to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Work or study from home whenever possible. Avoid social gatherings in groups of more than 10 people. Avoid eating or drinking in bars and restaurants. Use pickup or delivery options. Avoid traveling, shopping, trips, and social visits. Do not visit nursing homes or retirements or long-term care facilities unless to provide critical assistance. Always practice good hygiene. Wash your hands. It's dirty. Wash your hands. I just heard that it's really hit India, and I hear India is one of the most nasty and polluted places of all. Wash your hands, especially after touching any frequently used item or surface. Avoid touching your face. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or use the inside of your elbow. Disinfect frequently using items and surfaces as much as possible. So, yeah. They could have saved a little money with this, because they don't have no number where you could call, like if you want to get tested. They don't have, really, they're not giving any information. Trump is so used to his cons, but you know what I'm saying, they at least should have like a number where you could go get tested, because like a lot of hospitals, they don't want you to go to the emergency room. They're setting up other places, or just to combat the COVID-19 virus. So, so there's really no information here. Slow the spread. Oh, that's what that was saying. My glass was a little dirty, but yeah, they're not helping slow the spread, because one of the main things that you have to do to slow the spread is to find out who's spreading it. And where it's being spread and how it's being spread, even sometimes when it's being spread, so you need to know the who, what, where, and why of it. Not because that's what journalists does, but that's also what scientists do, is that you have to understand what you're working with. You have to and then have a solution to either have it work better for you, or maybe stop whatever work is doing, like in a virus. You don't want it to continue to wreak havoc on people. So, Trump is very sadly unable really to grasp, because he had already sort of made his bed. The first day he walked into the White House, and the Secret Service and the FBI told him that Putin has been compromising, the American security, instead of saying, you know what, fuck Putin, You know, I'm the president. I'm on the American people's side. Let's fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? He you know, he turned into a little wimp. You know, it's just a little, you know, like a little punk. You know, and I think the Russian mob's been using him ever since he hit Midtown Manhattan to get his daddy's money. That's why he stays broke. You know what I'm saying? That's what, you know, and I think that Russia, China, and Korea are very, very smart, and you know, they just use the greed and the inability for some of these especially Republicans, to understand that not all money is good money, as they say in Domino's. Well, anyway, so Memphis is like at 6 o'clock. It'll be that we had our first 24 hours, like they call stay in place, and you know, like so. I know they had like a number in Tennessee, not only in Memphis, that have the virus. And doesn't matter. I think that our biggest problem is that we're not getting as much merchandise sent to us from China, you know, and we don't really manufacture stuff, like, you know. So anyway, but the real thing, I think that Japan, China, Russia, like almost all of Africa, a lot of countries that do not, South America, Mexico, they do not appreciate the white American Caucasian and what they did when they got in their country. Because usually when they went in there with their business, be it oil, the rob them of the local steel, you know, local oil, local crops, you know, like cocaine and coffee or whatever, to suck all the goods out. They usually leave it toxic. You know what I'm saying? If they would leave it better and have a little respect, nobody will be dying from the toxic. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of some, like Trump, right? He's like, oh well, if the I would help New York, you know, if they would be a little nicer to me. Well, the problem is you're the president of the United States, and you took an oath to keep the America safe from domestic and foreign, you know, like danger. So all that other like personal, you know, bullshit is irrelevant because you know other people will see your weakness. Maybe it be Putin, maybe Kim on you, maybe I don't even know who it is. You know that you have a personal relationship with, while you messing with somebody that's trying to protect and save lives. You know, you're over here talking about the stock market. Well, if you had, as soon as that you found out they had a virus and you wanted to worry about your election and you wanted to be a hero, you would have said, hey, there's some bad stuff coming out of China, especially when, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And this is what we need to do right now. We need to test everybody that's coming in from the airport or any port, you know, any way they could come in. We need to close down, you know, that's, you know, you should have took immediate action. You know, instead of like acting like, you know what I'm saying? That's your only job, is that you have to do something. You have to come up with solutions. Not only come up with a solution, but act them out. You know, and if it doesn't work, then you get together and you brainstorm some more stuff. And hopefully you have more than one idea. But right now the only idea we need is like how to protect the least of us, because it's going to be the elderly, the poor, because like people that was working from paycheck to paycheck, whatever type of, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, because our insurance is such a ripoff for the average American, because we can't afford it. And it will bankrupt you, but a lot of times it won't even matter if they bankrupt you, because you know that they just charge so much money that it's impossible. So you know, free healthcare for everybody and get rid of these private insurance people that are right out of China, right out of Japan, you know, I think that would be in the best interest of America. And secondly, let's start educating our workforce. Let's start educating our kids. Get the harmful, negative stuff out of the school. Bring in positive stuff. Start feeding these kids stuff that can promote, good health, so you can have good brain function. So we could have a productive workforce in the future. But right now, we're not geared or worried about that. Anyway, um, let's see if we could contain this virus, or we'll spread this virus, or we'll all be running around the church at Easter. And I personally don't think that Trump ever went to church, let alone on Easter. So I don't think he knows what the hell he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? If he was talking about, oh, let's have a fine meal, even if you're staying at home, you're at Easter, uh, and or have Easter hunts with your kids, little moments like that, because like people that have kids, those the one have, if he says something like that, give an idea of what to do, stay at home. But his only idea is like, okay, everybody just go back to work. Who cares? That's why his business fell, and that's why the fool had the best job he ever had, the best money he ever was making without getting ripped off from his associate, was when he was working as the apprentice. He had a job that was selling. He was selling advertisement with commercials, so it was selling advertisements, selling that. Never mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. That sun is a glare. Oh well, but I just think that it's so you can see what happened. So with the ideas that the Republicans have, how the United States is functioning. They're not really taking care of business. They haven't been taking care of business. They've been trying to undo everything that Obama did, regardless of why he did it and why these laws was put in place, because they simply don't understand when you're trying to benefit humanity opposed to trying to benefit your pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? Trump and his friends, they're selfish little hoes. You know what I'm saying? And I hope, that he understands that in America, you only stay 4 terms, twice, if you're lucky. So you're only going to stay, in the White House 8 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about how long this and that happens, but as long as you continue to do the crime that I'm thinking that, they're going to get you for the Rio Act, it won't really matter, because when you get out of the White House, I think you're going into the big house. Because I think you can't help yourself. And I think prove over time and time again, and the Republicans, they're just going to run like cockroaches when the lights turn on. They're not gonna run to you because you don't insulted anybody. You don't even know this is supposed to be United States, united. You don't even know how to unite anybody because you're busy fracturing everybody because you're so fucking paranoid because of all the dirt and the nasty, unnecessary extra stuff that you do. You know what I'm saying? If you ever try to be nice, be a little gentle, be a little wiser, be a little far. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if I do this, am I gonna like what's the results gonna be? Like, if I shit on the floor, am I gonna like the idea that I gotta smell it or look at it, or maybe even have to clean it up? You know what I'm saying? Or should I go to the toilet? Well, Trump likes to shit where he lives, so I think when he leaves the White House, you're gonna need a fumigator. Never mind. It's just ridiculous. They could have did something sooner. They could have been more truthful. And it's more important to save lives. And even if you're worried about the stock market and all that in your image, to be a hero is to save lives, to help people, to have a gentle comprehension to the troubles and if you don't have the ideas, have people around you that are experts, that study this, maybe teach it, so you could have some solutions, because you want to have solutions to the problems, what I'm saying. But Trump wants to blame everybody. You blame everything, and you end up stagnated in the shit you just never mind. Oh well. Exercise.